Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over table optimizations. All right. So I'm currently in the app builder. One thing you need to know about the Inhouz Cloud platform is that every single element is reactive, meaning that every single element in an application is listening for app data changes. We've gone over this in some detail in the list optimization video, so you can please reference that video, because lists and tables are very similar in the sense that they are repeaters, meaning that they have grouped data that is, put together in a group, right? Using rows, right? So because every element in an application and in-house app builder is reactive, when you have a table, as we have here with, call it 10 to like 30 rows, right? You have that duplication of reactive elements, right? And at scale, you might run into some possible performance issues, right? So to mitigate against these performance issues, we have an attribute in every single element called non-reactive. Now, this is a flag that we create. This is something that we created for table elements that only interact with list item data to basically reduce the hit of always listening for data changes. Because these elements load within a list item, the data that they need, right, if they only interact with the list item data, are present before the render event, meaning that they already have access to this data. And if this data were to change, right, the row will refresh, meaning that the elements will re-render, and it will re-render with the list item data already present. So with all this being said, elements in lists and elements in tables that do not interact with outside data, right? So basically data in the app data, right? Elements that do not interact with data outside of the list item data, which is the row data, right, can be marked as non-reactive. And this will make these elements not react to data changes, meaning that in a table as big as this, these elements will not refresh or re-render whenever data changes. Now, if you had a scenario where you needed an element to change because of an outside event, then that element will be singled out. And of course, the non-reactive flag will be false, because we will not want the elements to not listen to data changes if you indeed want the element to react to data changes. And an event where an element might want to react to data changes is maybe the element is calculated based on some external data. Maybe the element's styling, right, is affected by some external data, outside of the row data. All right. So that's pretty much it. By default, Inhouz Cloud, we initialize a table with all the elements as non-reactive. Now it's up to you to go in there and change things if you want to indeed make an element within a table reactive. Now, outside of tables and outside of lists, the non-reactive flag is not really necessary when you're dealing with, let's say, static elements, because the system already has an internal optimization that would determine if an element is reactive or not. But being that table elements by default, when they are dealing with dynamic data, are technically dynamic because they reference a parameter. Thus, we need to add the flag here to make them non-reactive, because they do not need to react to anything else after the render if they only are interacting with the list item data, because the list item data is already present at the time of rendering, meaning that they do not need to listen to any further data changes. And if the list item data were to change, then the row in the table or the list will refresh, and the elements will re-render with the current list item data. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.